Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning.
Oh my goodness. Welcome everyone to another edition of GME. I am your co-host, Kim White, and I'm with one of my favorite humans on the planet.
Good morning, everyone. I am Kerry Zarb.
We are the entertainment in between the good stuff. We're going to say that this morning. So we want to get spicy right out of the gate and get this party started. We're so glad you're here, and we believe that messy is beautiful. We're going to sound like a broken record when we're talking about this because we want y'all to know behind the scenes, it's not perfect, and we don't mind it at all. We hope you are liking the behind the scenes funnies that you're getting from us. Kerry, how are you doing this morning with all of the entrepreneurial things?
Well, Kim, it's been a big week, as we know. It's never a dull moment in entrepreneur land, and I think that kind of kicks us into even the first segment today. What do you think?
Carrie, I think we're going to get spicy right out of the gate. Let's go.
Yeah. So, Kim, we do want to talk about entrepreneur land today, and the subject is the 7 reasons to have a podcast for your business.
Ooh. Now, Carrie, I know you shared a big announcement that you had heard this week. Would you share a little bit more about what's going on? And y'all need to know we're sharing what we've heard. So we just want to say that.
This is third, fourth, fifth, sixth hand information that we captured in our entrepreneurial journey. And one of the big news items on the agenda this week was that YouTube are shifting into podcasts, and you can now create your own YouTube playlist for your podcast. So that's a little bit exciting, Kim. YouTube's huge, like it's such a great platform and certainly gives you the ability to reach a lot of people. So I was pretty excited. And can I just add, really excited that the feature is available in Australia, because living in the future, we normally live in the past and get things months later. So when I saw this announcement and clicked on, oh, there it is. Oh my God.
I love it. So just to translate, Carrie's time zone is way ahead of us, but sometimes they don't get the tech we get until way after us. So we just want to give that little translation of what the living in the future but having the past, all of
Mm-hmm.
that is. Anyway,
Yep.
that's just for anyone who doesn't know where we are. Carrie, will you share where you are and what time it is?
Yes, I am in Melbourne, Australia, and it is just after 11 p.m. on a Friday night. So you guys are normally wrapping up one day as I'm kicking off the next. And well, as I just said, 11 p.m., I'm wrapping up today. You guys are kicking off today in the States. So a little bit different.
I am in Texas and it's 7:04 this morning. So we love that we get to share this time with you. Carrie, let's go through really quickly the 7 things that we came up with. Let's just be very open about that. These are the 7 reasons we thought of right off, the top of our heads for why a podcast really is a good choice for a lot of businesses.
So, Kim, coming straight out of the gate, number 1, we believe podcasts are still an untapped medium. For a lot of people like to listen in here, and not everyone's aware of the audience you can reach by having a podcast for your business.
I love that one, Carrie. And two, we think there's more exposure. So maybe your podcast listeners aren't someone who's finding you on the socials or finding you other places, but you get more exposure to other podcasters even by having a podcast.
And number 3, this is one of my favorites, Kim, is the ability to repurpose. So when you have a podcast, you can grab so many pieces of that podcast and use that not only in the podcast, but also on your social media, across to your website. It just gives you all extra goodies that you maybe didn't have before, and the ability to pull little pieces out of a podcast episode for your business advertising.
So another one of my favorites, Carrie, is the way to get your message out on more platforms. I think whenever you have a podcast, you can go on so many podcatchers, I've heard you call them, where people listen in different places, because they're a podcast listener and they're looking for something. It's just a way to get your message out to more places.
Correct, Kim. And number 5, I hope we're up to. I kind of wasn't counting.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Number 5 is the audio content for a different way to serve up value. So think of, those people that you're not reaching now because you've not got audio content. And like I said before, a lot of us do like to listen. Some of us are in the car driving, listening to this content that's available through podcasts. So it is definitely another way to serve up value to the world.
And it is global. Podcasts are a global thing, we have come to find out. Of course, we're across the pond from each other, and I will use us as an example, Carrie. I think that podcasts can also expand your collaboration opportunities. And y'all know how obsessed with collaboration I am.
And Kim, you just went off script then because, that was on the list. Number 6. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm like, wait, when?
I thought you added in an extra one. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
No,
But
no.
number 7, and one of another exciting piece of having a podcast is the street cred. The actual street cred that you can get from having a podcast is enormous. I actually consider it, Kim, and I'm not going to say this too out loud, and certainly don't start throwing stuff at me, but it can be similar to publishing a book. That street cred that can come with a podcast. It's pretty up there. It's heading up there.
And Carrie, I'm going to add this one little tiny thing as we go over to our next segment. When you have street cred comes from different places. So if you have a book, you have a layer. If you have a podcast, you have a different layer. And when you combine those kind of things, it just elevates you in a way. Oh, that's Holly Totten's word for the year. It elevates you, though. It causes you to have more and more street cred. So we love this, and we love podcasting.